Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video, and this one is another request from Northlander. And for this one, we didn't have a great deal of specifics actually, although it was certainly specific enough. So we are on the Huddersfield line. We're doing another Trans-Pennine route, starting at Leeds, with the destination being Manchester, Victoria. It is also another freight run in a Class 37. Never have a problem with the Class 37 returning. So for this one we have 16 mixed freight wagons, and as far as specifics, I was able to choose whatever I like. So for the hell of it, I went spring and I started at 10 AM, but I also figured we'll make the weather foggy for this one. We haven't done a foggy run yet, so yeah, I figured as we are going across the Pennines, fog is unlikely to be a rare, phenomenon around here. And yeah, I'm interested to see how it will look. So that is the setup, all pretty standard stuff. Let's get this one underway. Oh, here we are. So the engine took a while to kick in there. But yep, here we are at Leeds. And yeah, we have 16, it certainly is mixed freight, alright. So we are, well, we're at this platform 17, as much as we can be, which yeah, is not a lot. It also looks like we are returning empties to Manchester. So let's get everything sorted out, which is not going to take long. We haven't got a lot of stuff here to so here, not doing any of that. I think we've got it all. Yep. Right, so the frames per second will pick up as we get further away from Leeds. Let's take one last look at our surroundings. And let's get underway. So 42 3/4 miles to Manchester, Victoria. Right, now that Sounds like we have got freight all pretty much. Yeah, I think we're going to have problems with the freight constantly sort of like slacking as we brake, and it all bunching up and then spreading out again as we accelerate. We're going to have that throughout this run, so... Our acceleration rate is not fantastic. But then, for one thing, I'm not so certain that this freight we're carrying, I'm not so sure they are all empties. I certainly won't be too disappointed to see the back of Leeds. It really does impact on the old frames per second at quite a rate. I'm hoping we will hit the 30 mph section just in time. Yeah, that really was just in time. So once we're into the 45 mph section, it won't be quite so bad. I can already feel the frames per second improving as well. Right, let's get some more speed up. Of course, once we hit the 75 mph section, then we really are alright. There we go. Yeah, I'm glad that echoing has finally stopped, because we were nowhere near any section where it should have been echoing like that. So this is actually the first of two requests that I got from Northlander. And okay, yeah, I got no problem with that, because at the time I didn't have any other requests. But yeah, if you're gonna make requests in future, can you just do them one at a time? I will do the two of them, but yeah, I'd rather you just ask, you know, put the requests in one at a time. It's just easier all round. I can see, you know, which one is being done next and which ones have been done and whatever, you know. So it's not a complaint, which I know is rare for me, but yeah, I'm not complaining. I just, yeah, it just makes it easier for everyone. So okay, we can certainly see where the fog is making its presence felt. I mean, alright, up close, it's bugger all. Not a big surprise, I suppose. But, yeah, you certainly, yeah, see the sort of foggy surroundings and that. It's not going to have a huge impact on, in fact, any route, I don't see, not just this one, as we approach Cottingley station. Yes, we're on a 1 in 120 uphill climb. No wonder we are losing speed. It's not like it's plummeting, but yeah, I'd rather our speed be going up than down. Although, okay, this 65 mph section, not a problem, but we have a 45 section just before Morley station, and we're going to need to slow for that, so let's do precisely that. There we go. Right, so as we are going to continue to lose speed, we can at least reduce the amount that speed goes down. But no, obviously we're absolutely fine as far as speed limit goes. And in fact, our speed is now going up at a time when I didn't really want it to be. How's that for typical? Now, thankfully this 45 mph section is quite short, so yeah, once we're out of there, we'll be okay. Cottingley, and the first of many tunnels. So 75 mph section now, that will certainly help. We are still on an uphill climb, but it's 1 in 500. It's not going to be difficult. Typical. That needs recharging. Good job I got these. What a time to get the fucking hiccups. So now we are heading downhill, 1 in 139. Got no problem with it. And Batley Station is just shy of 1 mile away. So, as many of you are aware by now, on Friday the 22nd, I will be doing the live stream with the London to Edinburgh high-speed run. Which means that on that day I will of course be buying the final route DLC that I need to be able to do that run, and I've also decided I will buy a loco DLC. Batley Station has now been left behind. Let's take a look here. So yeah, I'll be buying a loco DLC. Now I don't know which one, can't decide. But given that we are in one of the real sort of workhorses of the diesel era, the Class 37, it was probably the first of the locos that could do absolutely everything. And then the 47 was the next one. So I was thinking of something that was, yeah, another sort of like workhorse train. We approach Dewsbury Station. Class 47 right in there. So I was thinking that, yeah, on the East Coast we've got, you know, the workhorse that did the East Coast main line, you know, 47s, 37s, and the West Coast main line, again 37s and 47s and 86s and 87s, I suppose. Ravensthorpe is just over a mile away, half a mile away. We have some flashing yellows. That's what that 40 mph is for. I'm braking for that 40 mph thing. It's over a mile away. That's why, alright, well, I think we can do an exterior shot now. I will get back to my point about the new loco. Brake a little bit more. There we go. Now, I really do not know which line it's going to put us on. But I'm going to guess it's this one. And then this one is going to turn, because we effectively turn off here. Would also explain why, yeah, it's red there, because we're about to join it. And after saying all that, it looks like, yeah, we're actually going to do the polar opposite. Or maybe not. There we go. It's almost as if I've done this route before. This is actually one of those few routes where I've never done a single career scenario on it yet. So every time I've actually done this route, it's when I've been doing these request videos. So we can now go up to 60. There we go, route change all done and dusted. Murfield Station, about a third of a mile ahead. You can really see the fog there. The fog looks quite thick round here now, which is not surprising. This is sort of the effect that I wanted, because now we're in the Pennines. The fog is going to be a lot thicker, and yet that's exactly what's happening. So anyway, yeah, so I've got the real sort of like workhorse locos for East and West Coast main lines. So what about the workhorse for the Midlands main line? And by workhorse, I mean, I really mean it. It was one of the trains that effectively saved that entire line. And it's a train that I'm not a huge fan of, actually. Despite the fact that visually it doesn't look too unlike the good old 37 here. Because it has the extended front nose section, even though it is a lot shorter. And if that hasn't given her away by now, which train I'm thinking of, then nothing will. So yeah, I'm looking at the class 45. Why do I start throttling down there? We're going up. So yeah, I'll have the Peterborough to York route, and I will also have the class 45 loco. So there will be, it will only be the one new train available, because yeah, unfortunately the Peterborough to York route doesn't contain any new trains. It just contains the UK and European locos pack, which I've had since day one of owning this game. So yeah, nothing new there. But the class 45 will be new. The weird thing is that even though the class 45, like I say, it effectively saved the Midlands main line, all of the career scenarios for it are for the Manchester to Liverpool line. I mean, yes, it did operate a hell of a lot around there as well, but it's much more well known for operating in and around the Midlands. That obviously does not mean that you know, if you're going to request it, you have to request a Midlands route or a Liverpool to Manchester route. You request any route you like, providing it can run on there. So that does not mean you can request fucking class 73 on a line that is not electrified. A ridiculous fucking request that was. And no, I will not be doing that one. So Huddersfield is the next station, 1.5 miles. We will certainly need to do some braking before we approach there. In fact, let's do some coasting. Now, one thing about the Class 45, when I get it, it will be the first and I think the only, because it's something that also applied to the Class 40, but of course you can't get the Class 40 in this game anymore. But it will be the the first loco I have with the one coco, one bogie arrangement, which was a sort of a necessary evil where the 40 was concerned, because it was such a heavy locomotive. It was something in the region of 126 or 128 tons, somewhere around there. Okay, so we're now actually, well, we're now below 30, and we need to be doing 30 mph in half a mile. For a minute I thought that was another yellow. Of course, as soon as we finish going through Huddersfield station, we have another tunnel. So another Class 47/8 on its way out. We've got a shunter over the far end there. We've got a couple of shunters here, yeah. So 1 in 95 climb. Yeah, it is affecting our speed. We're actually at a 50 mph section, which was not signposted, let alone not being on the HUD here. But the speed increase is certainly welcome. Poor old 37, he's having a bit of a task trying to get any speed up, going up all of these gradients. I can imagine actually that around the time that these things sort of dominated the rails, so like, you know, 60s and 70s, I think seeing one of these on this particular line, yeah, it must have been a fairly common sight. Probably could have made up, you know, the entire Trans-Pennine, you know, rolling stock just of 37s and 47s. So now entering a 75 mph zone, and we have pretty much no chance of getting anywhere near that speed. So we're not even doing half the speed that we can on this section. It's such a beautiful machine, the old Class 37. It's one of those rare locos that looks great no matter what livery it has. The only other loco I can think of where that applies is the Deltic, and it's pretty obvious there because the two look so similar. I mean, even though the 37 looks great in any livery, you still want to see it in the British Rail blue. I mean, the British Railways green looks good, but yeah, you want to see British Rail blue. So our speed has not changed one iota for a fair while now. You really do with gaining a few mph, but no, it's just not moving. Slaithwaite station coming up next. We've actually gained 0.1 mph. And the climb has also levelled out very slightly. It's still 1 in 111, which is yeah, more than enough for most trains. this station where, yeah, the two platforms. I've never seen a station where the two platforms are so far apart. And the platform on the other side has started and finished before the one on this side even comes along. So Manchester Victoria is now 21 miles away. Have actually lost some speed, then yeah, the climb has got steeper. We're back to 1 in 104. Still no sign of it ending either. Well, the max speed is coming down to 70 mph, but we never even got close to it. So we didn't even get halfway to the current max speed of 75. So the max speed will be coming down again to 60. Again, that is not making any difference to us. Something else that I can reveal is that where I used to be saying how I wouldn't be getting the final part of the East Coast Main Line route until the Halloween sale, well, of course I will have got it before then, but it does mean that I will be able to get another route or two when that Halloween sale comes along. And the plan is that I will be getting two more route DLCs, which will link up some of my existing routes, so there will be another fairly long trip that you would be able to make by, you know, connecting DLCs together. And specifically, that route will be London to Plymouth, which is a fairly long route, I think you'll find. Let's take a look at Marsden. So yet another speed reduction coming up, but yet again it's not going to make any difference to us because we're still going so slowly. But now the climb has levelled out. Our speed is going up. We're now in a 45 mph section, so even though our speed is going up, it can't go up very much before we're speeding. Thankfully we have an 85 mph speed limit coming along in a quarter of a mile, but I think we will need to coast a little bit before we can actually, yeah, we'll definitely have to coast. Very nearly started speeding then. There we go. I can at least heat up this ICOS. So we have a speed reduction coming up to 60, which then goes up very quickly to 65, but it means that we'll have this downhill section where we would be able to pick up quite a bit of speed, and we're going to have to be constantly doing some speed control braking during it. Yep, here we are. We are on the downhill section now. So 65 mph is the max. Let's see. Right, we are actually still losing speed, even though we're on a 1 in 125 downhill section. Okay, let's throttle up to 50% and see what that does. Yeah, speed is going up. Yeah, that increase, yeah, that rate of increase is okay. Greenfield station coming up in a mile and a half. Let's throttle that to 100 because it's not as steep now. it's now 1 in 175. It looks very much to me as though we have topped out. Oh no. But our rate of increase in speed is so slight now, even though everything is saying that we should be able to gain speed a lot faster than this, so we've got to be really close to the best we can do. Obviously the class 37 can go a lot faster than this, but not with all this weight behind it. It's pulling it back. So that was Greenfield Station. Okay, so now we're gaining speed at a much better rate. We're on 1 in 125 downhill now. Mossley is the next station in just over 1.5 miles. I was so convinced that we would never be able to get our speed up like that, that yeah, I wasn't even looking at the speedometer. We'll let it drop down to 60 and then we'll throttle up again. There we go. We've got to have some maximum thrash while we are going through Mossley Station, so we won't throttle down. We're certainly going to need to throttle down in a sec. So 50 mph speed limit reduction in just over a mile. And then we have Stalybridge Station about half a mile after that. Looks like we are certainly going to have to brake for this. There we go. Now we're going to have to slow down to 25 as we are leaving Stalybridge Station, and then we're going to be doing that for a little while until we can get up to 60. Now, is that yellow for us? Yes, it is. So it's double yellow. So we should still be able to enter Stalybridge Station. And obviously there is no point in us stopping at Stalybridge because we're not a passenger train, so that looks like, okay, it's the other side, okay. Well, that looks like, I can't tell from here if it's a single or a double yellow. Piece of shit pacer. Let's get ourselves a bit closer to 25 mph. There we go. Alright, so this is why all of these signals are red. Maybe changing on these points as well, yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't think we were coming down here. So now we're back to greens again. And we can properly speed up Ashton Underline. I think it's the next station, less than a mile. I'm pretty sure Ashton Underline is certainly part of Greater Manchester, so yeah, we are pretty close, yeah, just over 7 miles now from Victoria. I don't know why this route stops at Manchester Victoria rather than just add that little bit extra to take us to Piccadilly. Unless because it doesn't do that. I don't know the area. Maybe if anyone in or around Manchester can let us know. Shit heap pacer. So here we are at Ashton Underline Station. Goes on to 47. Okay, Manchester Victoria is 5 miles away. I think we are soon going to have to start coasting. We're now less than 4 miles from Manchester, Victoria. We've got 70 mph speed limit reduction in just under a mile. We are not far from doing that. Okay, let's start coasting. Yeah, got some hefty speed reductions coming up. 60 very soon, followed by 30. And I think after, okay, I was just going to say after that 30 we're staying that till we hit Manchester, but no, thankfully that's not the case. It does look like there are no more stations until Piccadilly itself. Yeah, we have this very sort of like steep drop here. So I'm wondering actually if that 30 is us going over points again. It seems an unusual spot for us to have to go down that much but then speed up again, especially when we're this close to the terminus. Okay, yeah, this is quite the sharp curve here. Whoa. Yeah, this is now 1 in 117 downhill section, and it's going to get steeper than that. It won't be so bad once we're in the 50 mph one, especially as we're just going to keep coasting. So we're now on a 1 in 47. Yeah, if we keep coasting here, we'll be fine with that 40, I reckon. Probably have to do some controlled braking though between the 40 and Manchester Victoria itself. A 47 and a 158 in unison. So that being a double yellow is fine. The next one will be a single yellow, but we can still go through there and into the platform. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people delighted to see the platform being taken up by a freight train. So this downhill slope is not as steep now, but I mean it's still 1 in 59. That's still very steep for very steep for a train, but it's better than 1 in 47 that it was. Okay, so it's starting to level out now. Still gaining speed though. Well, I don't rate that pacer's chances of getting out of here. Well, this looks like it's about as good as we're going to get it. There we go. So, yeah, look at that, still fucking bags of room. But that was Leeds to Manchester Victoria. Another Trans-Pennine freight run, this time in a class 37. Yep, that was a good run. That the weather didn't really do a lot. I mean, yeah, we could certainly see that it was foggy, but it had no real effect on how the you know, on any part of the drive. You know, we were still absolutely fine. 3 speeding errors. That's all I've got. I can take that. That's not bad. So, yeah, pretty good going, I think. So there we are. That was Leeds to Manchester in a class 37 freight train. Yeah, nothing really more to add to that, is there? Okay, video done. We'll see you at the next one.